मैं तो दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी बहुत रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
In the news tonight, FHL former chief executive granted bail. The demand for face masks increase. And Prime Minister opens new teachers' quarters.
From the studios of FBC Suba, Amrita Sagar.
Former chief executive of the Fijian Holdings Limited facing indecent assault charges has been granted bail. Nazab Farid appeared before the Suva Magistrates Court this afternoon. Farid has been charged with 3 counts of indecent assault. For the first 2 counts of indecent assault, it is alleged that he indecently assaulted a female on 2 separate occasions between June and September last year. For the third count, it is alleged that he committed the offence in May of 2019. He has been released on strict bail conditions and has been ordered to surrender his travel documents. A stop departure has also been imposed and he has been told not to change his residential address. The case will be recalled on February 25th for plea. The Chinese embassy in Suva is relying on local authorities for all tests on suspected cases of the coronavirus. Ambassador Gan Bo says the diplomatic mission can only liaise between the Chinese nationals and the Fijian government. Edwin Nunn reports.
The Chinese government is confident that Fijian authorities have things well in hand when it comes to screening and testing individuals for coronavirus.
We are relying on the medical services of Fiji because they are in Fiji, they are not in China. It is very important we have close coordination, cooperation with the government of Fiji. And if there is a necessity, the embassy will get involved.
The embassy here has already contacted Chinese nationals in Fiji, advising them to be alert for any signs of illnesses and to inform relevant authorities immediately. Meanwhile, the Chinese ambassador has reacted to Samoa, denying entry to 6 Chinese nationals who did not have a medical certificate. Ambassador Bo says this may have been a premature move by the Samoan government.
Perhaps we need to balance the benefit and cost. That is, not everybody who have no medical proof is problematic, simply because they don't have the medical certificate, and that this is not fully justified.
They are not to move out from that place of residence, and they are visited daily by our health team, first to check on their health status and ensure that they are adhering to the quarantine.
The 6 were turned away from Apia earlier this week as Samoa has restricted access for Chinese nationals who may be infected by or be carriers of coronavirus. They remain under quarantine in Nadi until medical test results are back. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
Local pharmacies says they have recorded an increase in demand for face masks from outbound travellers and locals in light of the deadly coronavirus outbreak. Some pharmacies FBC News spoke with have already run out of stock. Well, this as people are taking precautionary measures as the deadly virus continues to spread and the death toll has reached to 132 as of this afternoon. Koroi Tandalala reports.
Pharmacies are now placing urgent orders for face masks as the deadly coronavirus continues to spread.
People coming to buy face masks as well as other products such as hand sanitizers. So these 2 products are moving pretty fast. We do see either foreign nationals or people who are traveling to either Australia or Asian markets.
With coronavirus becoming a global concern, pharmacies around the country have noted a high demand in face masks for outbound travelers and locals alike.
Even local people are they just want to be aware of this virus and they want to prevent it. More than 20 people a day. 90% is Chinese people. Local is about 10%.
The Fiji Medical Association says that private practitioners are well prepared to handle cases as they've started instituting relevant measures.
I am pretty sure that all private practitioners have the ability and the capacity to be prepared and institute these basic measures. Nothing fancy. This is just having a high
index of suspicion for a case using personal protective equipment right there and then.
People arriving in the country through all ports of entry will soon be required to fill a supplementary arrival card.
Health officers look at the declaration cards to see where these people have come from. We've got Hong Kong flights, so they're screened that way. Identify anybody who's come from a high-risk area.
The ministry is working with international border control stakeholders, including airlines, airports and port authorities, to enhance existing mechanism to detect ill travelers at international points of entry. 132 people have died and more than 4,600 cases confirmed in mainland China, with 70 confirmed cases recorded in 17 places outside China. Koroy Tandulala, FBC News.
Well, Koroy joins us live now. Koroy, you've been following the coronavirus story very closely. What else can you tell us about this virus?
Thank you, Amrita. As alluded to earlier by the Health Ministry, all inbound flights either from Hong Kong or Singapore will undergo an additional screening process at the Nadi International Airport. This is the preventative measures put in place by the Health Ministry, which also includes the mandatory completion of the Arrival Health Declaration Form. This form will allow health officials at our main port of entries to trace the travel history of all its inbound passengers and identify possible or potential exposure to the virus. Now, one of the main difficulties faced by health personnel, not only in Fiji but globally, is differentiating the symptoms of the 2019 novel coronavirus from the normal flu bug that we have. We spoke to the Fiji Medical Association president earlier, Dr. Basharat Munshi. He clarifies that as of the stage, one of the main factors that they're relying on is learning the travel history of potential patients. The Health Ministry is also working with international border stakeholders, airlines, airports, ports, and all points of entry to ensure necessary thorough checks are conducted. Now, as of today, the Health Ministry are training its officials on correct procedures and safety wear and how to actually respond to the potential cases if there is any. As of this afternoon, 132 confirmed people have died from the virus, and almost 6,000 confirmed cases have been recorded in China alone. And apart from these, 70 confirmed cases have been recorded in 17 places outside of China. As for Fiji, the Health Ministry continues to reiterate the importance for Fijians to practice proper health hygiene. Amrita.
Thank you, Koroy, for that update. The teachers at Uli Valili College in Wailevu West, the Kandrove, will now all be properly accommodated after the opening of 2 new quarters by our Prime Minister, Voreqe Bainimarama. The quarters was promised to the teachers in 2017 by the Prime Minister himself. Eleanor Trangavu has more.
Making good on a promise made back in 2017 to address the lack of proper accommodation for teachers, Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama officially opened and handed over 2 new quarters to Uli Valili College.
When I toured the Northern Division in 2017, I spoke to members of the community and learned that the school will be better served with the additional of 2 new teachers' quarters. That day, I personally committed to funding this new project, and I'm proud to return here now for this commissioning of yet another delivered promise.
In 2015, 15 teachers served Uli Valili College, but there was only 1 staff quarters. Today there are 18 teachers and all have proper accommodation.
Through the Ministry of Education, through AMU, they have built 3 quarters. The villagers, through their own initiative, they have built 6 quarters through the villagers' initiative themselves, the school stakeholders, and now the government again funded 2.
Uli Valili College was established by government in 2012 to cater for children from the many small communities in Wailevu West. Today, it has a roll of 250 students who come from as far as Savu Savu and Mboa.
From Uli Valili College construction to where we stand today, it's clear that my government has served as a pillar of support to this school in its journey forward. This college is a symbol of progress. Its growth has meant a growth in opportunities available for your young people. And this addition to your campus marks a continuation of our dedication to this school and to every member of this community.
Uli Valili College continues to expand and a request has been put forward to the Prime Minister for the construction of a technical workshop to cater for the increasing interest in home economics, woodwork and technical drawing at the school. Eleanor Turangebio, FBC News.
The Real Estate Agents Licensing Board is finding difficulty in tracking the records of registered agents. The Real B confirms they are investigating some complaints and have forwarded the cases to the Criminal Investigations Department as well as the Financial Intelligence Unit for further action. These are incidences where money was deposited directly into the agent's personal account. Kritika Kumar reports.
There have been instances where agents received money in advance from clients which were deposited in their individual accounts.
I prefer purchase wishes to buy a property. Definitely you have to pay upfront deposit. So that money shouldn't be kept by the agent unless the agent has a separate trust account. He or she cannot put that money into his or her personal account. So that is one of the issues that came up.
Real B has confirmed they have forwarded several complaints of such nature to the CID and the FIU.
If any of the agents they do put money in their personal account, then they are committing an offence. Some time back, where an agent has put money in her personal account, and the matter has been referred to the police department.
Some real estate agents believe there needs to be more dialogues and discussions with the agents to address the issues currently faced by the sector.
We need to have dialogues, and hopefully in one of these dialogues we can invite some of the real estate agents at a national level to really have a brainstorming on how to address this inventory. Inventory is lack of affordable housing in the market, you know.
Real B says a large percentage of country's wealth is tied up in the real estate, and all parties dealing with this important sector must act wisely. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Up ahead, new road to make life easy for Kamba villagers. And providing quality services mandatory, says the minister. Details after the break.
Pula natang ko prosesan kerse, ngor keraki. Do televisi na barong na radio Fijuan, nandomo ibiti.
Radio Fijuan, nandomo ibiti.
Travelling by boat to the mainland will be a thing of the past for over 200 villages in Kamba Baotai Levu. A new 8.5-kilometre road has been constructed, which will now connect Kamba to the Kiuva Peninsula. And villagers say their prayers have been answered as they will no longer spend over $60 to catch transport. Senia Nimbola reports these villages used to travel only by boats.
It cost $80 one way from Romuna village to Nakelo Landing, but with this new road, the fare will decrease by more than half.
We've been waiting for this road for a very long time. Those is gone, they've lived us, our forefathers. We're so grateful. We had a new road now, changing the life of our villagers. So right now, whenever you want to come to the village, you can just come at 10, 11, if it's rain or sun or whatever, everything is possible now.
30-year-old Ramona mother Lemba Sekula is happy. The woman and sickly will be able to access all the essential services easily.
Most of us women have to wait at the Nakelo Landing for hours to catch the next available boat to come back home. For pregnant mothers, once they reach 8 months, they have to leave the village and go to places near to hospitals. Now it's no more. We can go whenever we want to.
The new road provides access to hundreds of villages in Kaleli, Watani and Romuna village. Before, taking up produce to the market is always a challenge. Sometimes we wait for the boat for hours, 9 p.m., 10 p.m., then we reach home. But now the new road is a great relief. We come back whenever we want. This new Kiuva Kamba road will be officially opened by the Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama this Saturday. Sainia Nimbola, FBC News.
Providing quality service at all times is no longer an option but a requirement for all government ministries. This was stressed by Employment Minister Praveen Kumar while launching its ministry's call centre, toll-free line and customer charter in Suva this morning. Jose Nanunga reports.
Minister Praveen Kumar says customer service is essential in sustaining and driving continuous growth of the Fijian economy.
This new initiative will enable the ministry to improve its customer relations, in the service delivery to you as we have committed in our customer charter. This achievement will greatly contribute in terms of process and enhancing the ministry's role in employment.
Fiji Commerce and Employees Federation Chief Executive Kameli Mbatiweti is urging employees to adopt to the new strategy to boost customer service delivery.
Very important function in the economy for us as employers. So we have 9 councils in the Fiji Commerce Employees Federation, and our members need to access these kind of services. And quite often, they don't know who the go-to person is. And therefore, this kind of initiatives opens up the door for our members to be able to access the services that this ministry provides.
With the launch of the Ministry of Employment Call Center toll-free line and customer service charter, Fijians can now submit their requests, inquiries, do follow-ups, as well as submit their feedbacks to the ministry. Jose Nununga, FBC News.
Reviving the sugar sector and making it more sustainable is work in progress for the Ministry of Sugar. Permanent Secretary for the Ministry, Yogesh Karan, says among the many initiatives to support the industry, the New Farmers Program is one that is not only boosting farmer numbers, but also farming techniques. Maggie Boyle reports.
With the livelihoods of more than 12,000 sugarcane farmers involved, it's a sector the government is working tirelessly to rejuvenate.
From 1.3 million tons, we are now up to 1.86 million tons. And the new farmers that we have now is 209. And out of these 209, we have 83% of that, which is 173 are male and 29% are females.
And with several subsidies to support growers, the New Farmers Initiative is one that's been touted as a shot in the arm.
And the New Farmer Scheme is that we pay for the lease first year, then up to $10,000. This is the lease money, or 15% of the total value. Similarly, fertilizer is free for 5 years. Weedicide is free, for 5 acres. And weedicide is also free for 5 acres.
The Sugar Research Institute of Fiji is also on board to ensure the farmers farm right.
One of the roles that the Institute will play is in advising these growers. What are the right things to do? What are the varieties they need to plant? And we also have what we call as a analytical laboratory that provides the advice to the farmers as to the fertilizer requirements for the crop that they want to plant.
With the Stabilisation Fund continuing this year, farmers are guaranteed $85 a tonne. The ministry hoping that this will sweeten the crush come June. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Well, in our news last night, we had run a story which stated that the Fiji Building Designers Association is saying that engineers' fees for the acquisition of cyclone certificates are high. However, this was not what the association said. Instead, it's saying that affordability for low-income bracket homeowners and those in the rural and maritime areas to acquire a cyclone certificate is difficult. It adds that these people don't see it as a necessity since there are no mandatory laws that require them to unless they have taken a bank loan. The association says it maintains and recommends that it should be mandatory for all houses or buildings built anywhere in Fiji to have a cyclone certificate. We apologize for this error and any inconvenience it has caused. Well, it's business time with Apenisa.
Thanks, Amrita. Coming up after the break, new website to enhance services. And in growing Fiji, 50 residents received backyard gardening packages. Stay with us.
My name is Neha and I'm from Karavi. And Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Leading business in ensuring its activities are visible to the public, the Fiji Geospatial Information Management Council has launched a new website. Lands Minister Ashnil Sudhakar says the new website will give another dimension to the work carried out by the council. With the council also having their meeting in Suva today, Sudhakar says more collaboration is needed to enhance the coordination and collation of geospatial information.
I appreciate the benefits of using geospatial information for the execution of service delivery in my ministry and how it has improved the way decisions are made to better the lives of our citizens. The launch of the Council website is an excellent way to make use of the technology available to further the prominence of the activities of the Council.
Data information sharing will be vital through the new website, and relevant agencies will centralize information of our land, underground and ocean territory. Post Fiji has revised the rates of its postal express mail service and money order services. Chief Executive Dr. Aniruddha Bensot says this will help them enhance their postal services. Dr. Bensot says the new rates will come into effect on February 1st.
Rate change, it's very marginal. We have considered the changes in such a way that the customers don't get penalized too harshly on that. And the increase into the rates, some of them are like in a few cents. So it's not a huge change in terms of the pricing, but it was necessary to rectify our pricing structure.
We now join Gary from HFC Bank with the latest from the stock exchange.
Data released today showed new orders for key US-made capital goods dropped the most in 8 months in December. Shipments were weak, suggesting business investment contracted further in the fourth quarter and was a drag on economic growth. Meanwhile, Australia's inflation outpaced estimates in the final 3 months of 2019, advancing at the fastest quarterly pace in 3 years. Consumer Price Index increased 0.7% from the third quarter, compared with the forecast 0.6%. The annual pace rose to 1.8%, still below the Reserve Bank of Australia's 2 to 3% target band. This persistent weakness was one reason the RBA cut interest rates 3 times last year to an all-time low of 0.75%. Coming up tomorrow on the economic calendar, the US Federal Reserve will announce their interest rate decision, which is forecast to remain unchanged at 1.7%, while New Zealand and Australia will release their trade figures for last December and last quarter respectively. And that's all from HFC Bank for now. Naka.
Here are today's exchange rates as set this morning. The Fiji dollar showed gains against the Australia and New Zealand dollar as well as the Japanese yen, but dropped against the other currencies. In commodities, crude oil jumped to just over $54 per barrel. Gold fell by about 15 cents to end at $1,565 per ounce, and silver closed down at $54.01 per ounce. In growing Fiji, 50 Lambasa residents received backyard gardening packages from the Agriculture Ministry to help foster a healthier lifestyle. The program is part of 5 new initiatives adopted by the ministry to improve agriculture development and the overall output of the sector. Speaking to Nasiakula villages, Assistant Minister Charlie Rasingarara said the government wants people in the rural and urban areas to eat healthier and nutritious crops. That's it from Business Tonight. Jamie joins you now with the latest from sports.
Thanks, Apanisa, and good evening in sports tonight. Number of contracted Fijiana Sevens players revealed. And keep supporting the team, says Ben Ryan. This and more coming up.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Fourteen Fijiana Sevens players have been contracted by the Fiji Rugby Union for this season. This has been revealed by head coach Sayasi Fuli while speaking to Tia Roko on the Voice of Melanesia radio program in Sydney, Australia. Aquila Dama has more.
The Fijiana is the most improved team in the Women's World 7 Series this season, and it can be attributed to the work done behind the scene, like being properly remunerated.
I can assure that for us, the Fijiana Sevens, there are 14 players contracted in a squad of 21.
Fuli says before there were only 6 contracted Fijianas, but now they have 3 bands for the 14 contracted players.
We categorize their contracts as there's the A group, the B group, and the C group. In those 14, the top 6 they are within the A category, and then the next 6 B category, and so forth. And that is the structure we have.
The Fijiana will be without captain Rachel Indaviwu at the Sydney Sevens, but Fuli says they still will have to challenge the best this weekend. Meanwhile, the Australian women's side has recalled one of its Olympic gold medalist, Charlotte Caslick, for this weekend's tournament.
Really excited. Obviously, I missed last year's Sydney Sevens, so I'm super excited to get out there. And I think Bankwest will be an incredible stadium to play at, and also getting to play with Emily Cherry again. I'm really excited for that.
The Sydney Sevens will be held on Saturday and Sunday. You can watch it live on FBC Sports and FBC TV channels. Aquila Thama, FBC Sports.
Ben Ryan believes Fiji have the players and personnel to get the side back on track in the World Rugby 7 Series. Ryan guided Fiji to 2 World Series wins and its first Olympic gold medal in Brazil in 2016. Says Fiji was exposed in a few critical areas at the Hamilton Sevens last weekend, but they can fix it.
Obviously, Argentina had a very good aerial kicking game that they absolutely got perfectly right against Fiji. So the opposition will be looking at that as a possible blueprint. And it's then up to the players and coaches to make sure that if a team does try to apply that type of game to Fiji, that they can deal with it. And they have the personnel and the players to do that. So I don't think any of the fans should be getting overly concerned.
Flying Fijians halfback Frank Lomani is expected to make his Super Rugby debut for the Melbourne Rebels in Japan on Saturday. For the Sun Wolves to host the Rebels in their season opener, Lomani says he still has great memories playing in Japan for the Flying Fijians at the 2019 Rugby World Cup.
I love being there, especially one thing I like is that the people there are so friendly. The people there are so respectful. They take respect to another level. When the team comes over, they make sure that half of the crowd cheers for a visiting team. So it's like we're playing a home game.
Interest for the Mara Sevens tournament continues to grow locally and internationally each year. However, Mara's Rugby Club President Lawrence Tikaram believes they need to be responsible and give local clubs priority over overseas development teams. Tale Matairakula with the story.
Developing the skills of local players is the key focus of the tournament.
Our guys deserve to develop amongst themselves first, and where the opportunity is to bring world-class teams to come and play amongst them, then surely we will definitely embrace that.
Mari's the Rugby Club President Lawrence Tikaram says they were approached by overseas teams.
Like every year, teams inquire. We had one inquiry from South Africa, 2 inquiries from New Zealand and Australia, but then we leave it at their disposal.
Tournament sponsor Paradise Beverages General Manager Michael Spencer says they look forward to another successful tournament.
A big proportion of that is the Marist Rugby Club, and we feel quite privileged to be part of that club and really looking forward to seeing the games.
This year's tournament will run for 3 days. It will be held from the 19th to the 21st of March at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. Tale Matairakula, FBC Sports.
The Rewa football team will be going into the Vodafone Premier League match against Mba without a coach. Senior players like Tevita Warinivalu and Simeone Tamanisau, who are back with the Delta Tigers, are expected to mentor the team in this weekend's clash. Former Rewa player Peter Rambo coached the team last season when they finished second last on the VPL points table, winning only 3 out of 10 matches. Rewa football is expected to make an announcement on the new coach soon. The Delta Tigers host defending champions Mba at 3 p.m. this Sunday at Nausori's Ratu Dakambau Park. Roger Federer has pulled off one of his most memorable performances to make the Australian Open semi-finals. The 20-time Grand Slam champion has saved 7 match points in a thrilling clash with American Tennys Sandgren.
The man on the right is Tennys, the other guy is just called Tennis, with a Y. Well, why indeed didn't Tennys Sandgren win? The American took the second set.
You've got to give Tennys Sandgren a lot of credit there.
And the third?
Mr. Federer.
Yes, him. Roger Federer had sworn on court.
Can't repeat that, Roger. No, I heard it
The lines judge knew what she'd heard, whatever language it was in. Well, Federer needed treatment and Sandgren's calf muscle was hurt accidentally by a low-flying ball girl.
Oh, my.
Here's the real pain. 7 times in the 4th set, Sandgren had match point. 7 beautiful opportunities. Could he take any of them? No.
Still alive.
Tie break to Federer. Melbourne witnessing just another once-in-a-lifetime match from the great man. The 5th was a 6-3 formality. Federer said he was lucky to beat this opponent.
That's why I feel a bit bad, you know, in a way, because I didn't feel like he did anything really wrong. You know, it's just luck at some point, and I've been on the other side as well. So these ones just sting and they hurt, and I don't know. If you could obviously play them again, you would play them differently.
Yet another semi-final.
You'd say Federer was pushed to the limit, if he had a limit.
Now, play of the day, Arsenal's Bukayo Saka scoring a beautiful goal in their 2-1 win against Bournemouth in the 5th round of the FA Cup. That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you with weather later on, and in Weird and Wonderful, artist creates the world's blackest black. Details coming up.
We love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Take a look at the world's smallest dynamic display for your eye. The Mojo Vision appears to be aiming for the sweet spot between the clunky AR goggles and invasive brain-computer interfaces like the Neuralink. And here's Kritika with the weather.
An amazing time to be in Fiji since the weather is upright bright with 0 showers. We made it through the hump day with lots of humidity. Now checking the west out for today, clear visible blue skies. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, clear skies as well. The night will see few odd showers. And up north, another beautiful day to move around and enjoy. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate seas. For the tides, high tide at 9:46 p.m. with low tide at 4:07 a.m. Sunrise at 5:51. For tomorrow, we are very fortunate to have a repeat of today's weather. Tomorrow's temperatures, Lautoka and Lambasa will rise to 32 degrees. Looking further on to Friday. Who doesn't like this day? Plus point, it will be amazing and beautiful day. I'm Rita.
Thanks, Kritika, for that update. Now we move on to the Fijian Pulse, where we asked, are you aware of the symptoms of the coronavirus?
The symptoms are similar to pneumonia. Maybe it starts with a headache, body ache and high fever. It can start off with a small flu bug and then maybe develop into a fever.
What I know is that it has no cure, and common symptoms are coughing and having high fever.
If people are coughing or having body ache and fever, that should be a sign of coronavirus.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, when Anish Kapoor announced his exclusive rights to the blackest black pigment, Stuart Sampel knew he had to fight for artist inclusion. Sampel created the pinkest pink and licensed it for anyone but Kapoor. Soon after, he started a Kickstarter to create his own blackest black, and the result, the Black 3.0, is currently the blackest pigment in existence. Recapping the main stories, FHL former chief executive granted bail. Demand for face masks increase. And the Prime Minister opens new teachers' quarters. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question segment, this week we are asking, should Fiji start looking at overseas players for the World 7 Series? Now do visit our FBC website to answer. Our shot of the day, sent in by Ben Balemaiva Valangi, the aeroplanes parked at the Nandi International Airport. You can always send us these newsworthy pictures and videos on email at fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. Or you can also follow and tweet us those news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. Stay safe. Modemanda.
Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.